many of you know what vision boarding is? Oh my gosh, way more people than we thought. Okay, cool. How many people actually vision board? Okay, yay, same group of people. So,
No, less.
well, a little bit less. So for those of you that don't know what vision boarding is, it is basically exactly what it says it is. It's a visualization tool to help you manifest and track your aspirations, your dreams, your goals, and keep you on focus. You know, some people use the whole, SMART, where specific, measurable. Some people kind of use the just go all at it type of process. I got started about 6 years ago, and I did this process in a group of people I did not know at all. And so, you know, there's posturing in any group. You're like, I don't really know you. I'm certainly not going to share my goals and aspirations with all you people. I have no idea who you are. Because the thing that vision boarding is, it brings to you, and you realize very quickly, and it's very humbling, is it's very personal. And so it makes you uncomfortable to really kind of get down with the whole, let me spell this out, and what do I really want? For the first part of my career, I just watched for doors and windows. So that whole career pathing, that I never understood that, and I didn't do it. And it wasn't until I really started, you know, kind of vision boarding, I started to realize what was important to me. I am a chronic overcommitter, so I will tell everybody, sure, I can do that, and then I'm, you know, up at midnight on Sunday trying to figure out why I'm still working on something that has really no meaning in my life and is not important at all, and I got roped into for something ridiculous like 5 years of running a beauty pageant my kids don't even participate in. So you start to shed some things that you don't want to do. So when I first started talking about, hey, Dina, I think this would be a really fun thing to do. It's really valuable. I think people would get a lot out of it. I called a friend, and I said, hey, Lisa, you want to do something fun with me? And she's like, okay. I'm like, you want a vision board in front of a bunch of people that maybe you might not know all of them? And she's like, I don't even know what vision boarding is. So I told her a little bit about it. I explained it, and she goes, okay, I'll go do a little research of my own, and I'll get back to you. So she comes back. She says, okay, I'm in. And then I said, how about we track your journey? Since you've never done it before, wouldn't it be really cool? Because it's not like I can give you guys all stuff to build your vision board here, and it actually takes a lot more effort and work than you think it will, as you're going to see from the process. But then when we were talking about it, we wanted to show you what vision boards look like and how they evolve. And we could have taken them from some website out there, because there's a ton of them, but we didn't want that. Like, if we're going to do this, let's do it. So how I started, and I want to warn you before we do this is extremely vulnerable, because this is all the stuff that's important to me. It may not make sense to you, but everything on here has meaning to me. And so this was my 2022, moving into 2023, was the giant poster board. Can you be the fan? You know that? Yeah. Flip it over, girl.
Ready?
I'm ready.
Sure?
Not really, no. We're doing it.
All right, we're doing it.
So this is what it started out as. It looks like a giant jumble of just crap, but all of it has meaning to me. And then I realized this is not practical for long term, and I moved to a digital format. But okay, we can put that down now. We're good. So as we kind of went through this, I do like the cutting and the pasting part. It's almost like a rosary or a reaffirmation of what you're thinking of. But now that I've been doing it for so long, I've developed like check-ins for myself. Like quarterly, I do a deep dive. Where am I on stuff? So that's why I thought, okay, Lisa, let's take you through your journey. So I'm going to turn it over to her, and I gave her so little guidance except vision boarding, get in front of people, spill your guts. And she said, okay. This is my current vision board, because if Lisa was going to be vulnerable, I was going to do it too. So it doesn't have to have a ton of space. The cool thing is it's totally portable, but it's also very personal. Okay, we're going to...
Are you ready for me?
Oh, I'm ready. So I'm going to have Lisa take you on her journey.
Okay. You sure you don't want me to, you want me to leave that up there a little longer?
Just move on.
Okay,
no?
you want me to move on? Okay, all right. So let's talk about my process. So before I move off your vision board, I want to talk about some of the first decisions I had to make. The first decision I made is, did I want to do something old school like this, or did I need something digital? So for me, I am typically in 3 states every month. I travel all the time. So I needed something digital that's transportable, easy to be seen, a reminder in my face constantly. So I chose a digital presentation. So that was one of the first decisions I needed to make. All right, and then my next challenge was, what am I going to put on this board? So the first thing I did was I did some research. When you Google vision board, how to build your own, there's so much information out there. So there's QR code on here. You can get some of the forms that we use. There's some tips on there. But I took this vision board journal, and I want to say I started this process in June. So I want to say I sat down, the first time I sat down, I think I was in New York, and then in the evening, that first time I sat down, I think I took 20 minutes, and I sat down, and the only thing I wrote was, be selfish. Like, that was one thing I knew for myself that I wanted, I needed to constantly remind myself of, to do that. So that was the first thing. And I think I wrote down some of the trips. I think I wrote down all the months, June through December, and trips I wanted to take. So the first time I sat down for 20 minutes, that's all I did. I never thought about some of these goals for all these categories. So I had to walk away from it. Probably a week later, I sat down again, and I was able to think about that during that time, and I was able to put some more information on there. Still didn't think I had enough to do a vision board, so I want to say I came back a third time, probably 2 weeks after that, and I was able to put some more goals on my vision journal, and I finally felt like I had enough information to present, to put on a presentation. So I'm about to show you what my journal looks like. I really don't want to show this because it's not pretty. But we wanted to be transparent about, when you're brainstorming and you're writing things down, it doesn't look pretty. You guys won't understand what you're about to see. You won't understand it at all, but long as I understand it, long as you understand it, that's all that matters. All right, so you ready? It's typically not something you put on a presentation slide to show to people, right?
Would this be better? Could I just show them
You can show them that. This is all my notes, right? So I'm going to show you. Let's see.
Yeah, the clickers
Okay.
persnickety.
Okay, all right. So that's what I came up with. Those are my notes. I even have a copy, like my own copy. I still carry around that copy. But this is what I came up with. So in order for you to understand and kind of translate how my final vision board, the final product looks like, I need to kind of highlight some things on here. So you see the be selfish. I told you that was the first thing I wrote down. Big is, it's very big on the page. I also talked about my current career. In June is when I started it. I was 3 months into a new position, learning so much in such a short time. In January, I became an empty nester, and I was the team mom for basketball, team mom for football, team mom for track, year-round with my son. So definitely, I was very busy. I had some goals as far as I wanted to get my NFLPA license. I want to be a sports agent. I want to be able to negotiate my son's first NFL contract in a couple years, 3 years. So I was supposed to do that this year, but I didn't get that done. I decided to put that on the back burner because I got a new opportunity, and I wanted to focus on that. Love life. I'm single. I'm open, and that's about it. So that was something I wrote on there. I wanted to travel. I wanted to be healthy. I wanted to eat better. I wanted to exercise every other day. A lot of different things. So I just wanted to highlight a few of the things that I had on my notes. So one of the next challenges I had to decide is what type of platform software I plan to use. So when you Google how to build your own vision board, some options come up. Designwizard.com is the one thing that pops up first. So I went and looked at it. It just didn't appeal to me. I couldn't really get started in that. It's just something that I just couldn't couldn't find my way with using it, okay? So then I went to Canva. Now, Canva had so many whiteboard templates on there. So if you're someone that don't know how you want to present your vision board, this Canva will give you some ideas on how to present it, what colors and different things. And there were so many options that I just had to pick something. So all right, I picked this one because it had the least pictures and it had some words on it, right? So I picked that one. And then the next challenge was, well, how I'm going to take all the notes that I brainstormed and how I'm going to present that on a vision board. Well, when I started searching through Canva, what happened using the template, I ended up deleting the whole template. And I was back to a whiteboard. So I'm like, okay, this isn't working either. So then I talked to Thea, and she's like, why don't you try PowerPoint? So I pulled up a blank presentation slide, and I was like, okay, how am I going to get started with this? So what I did is I took the words on my brainstorming journal, and I just typed them all over the presentation slide. So once I did that, I just, with PowerPoint, you can search online pictures, you can use 3D symbols, illustrations, word art, things like that. So the first thing that was easy to do was, all right, my love life. What's a symbol for love life? A heart, right? Filled it in red. I stuck that on there on the board, and then I put a check. All right, I did the love. There's a heart there, it symboled that. And then I wrote be selfish, and there's some other things that I put on there. So I'm gonna show you my final product, and I want you to see if you see some of the things that I discussed about what some of my goals were for the year. All right? Here is my vision board. I'm going to use a pointer if I can. All right, this is the finished product. You see the red? Can you guys see the red part? That's my love life. It's there. Just a constant reminder. I put a picture of myself. Yes, I did. I know I'm beautiful. I put a picture of myself right there. But I put it there because I'm now in a time where I need to get to know her. I've just been running around with kids. I was married and divorced, so now I'm trying to get to know her. And I put a crown on her because, she's looking for love. Look, I need someone to treat me like a queen. That's why that's on there. There's my, I need to be healthy, mentally, physically, things like that. Over here, I turn 50 next week, right? So I turn 50. So you gotta have a theme. So my theme, I'm living my life like it's golden. I wish I could play the song. I embedded the song in my own vision board, so I can always just click there and it'll play. Right? So you can do that as well. Hey, you can be as creative as you want to be. I got my Be Selfish textures up there. And then I have, I want to travel, explore, it's a constant reminder. Friends Go Build the logo of my current job is on there because they gave me an excellent opportunity. They took I'm a former credit manager that's now the director of operations, and I am learning so much. Thank you. I'm learning so much every day. So that's important. It needs to be on my vision board. Let's see. There's the NFLPA. I want to possibly, pursue that next year. I was supposed to do that this year, but with the new job, I decided to put it on hold. But I put a 3-year plan on it. I need to get that in 3 years because that's when my son will possibly be able to go to NFL, right? So it's, I've got it on there and I've got a deadline here. The fence. This was interesting. So a fence typically means limitations, restrictions, right? But that's not how I saw it. I saw the fence as an opportunity of, with the new job, I'm constantly learning. So when you're learning in a fence, I could climb over the fence. I'm going to continue to climb over this fence. The next time something comes up, I'll climb over that again. So that's what that signifies. But it also signified protection. A fence is protection. So I've got no limits, continue growing. I want generational wealth for my kids. And then the agency. That's going to be my company one day. I am going to have an agency. All right? So the fence signifies protection. You can always climb over. And then protect assets. Not only my assets are my people, my job, my family, and my friends. So I wrote that all the way across. That's my vision board. And that's what came. So that's my process. What do you guys think? All right. Now, are there any questions for any of us about the vision board? All right. So I'm a newbie at it. So this was my first time doing it, but it's my screensaver. So every time my computer goes to sleep, it's right there. It's a constant reminder of me in my face every day. Multiple times a day I get to see it. Now I know Thea has a different process of how she goes through and she tracks hers. She has a check every quarter.
I have mine on my lap. I'll just go
Okay,
here.
there.
I have mine on my laptop as well since I went digital, because even though that's really fun to cut and paste, it's really not practical in my life anymore. So, and then I forced myself to do a quarterly check. I want to see how am I holding myself accountable, because things aren't just, although I've had a lot of really good things happen in my career, I would like to believe that I actually had influence over them instead of I just happened to be in the right place at the right time. And I want to know where I'm going. And that, in this particular decade of my life, seems really important.
Use the mic. I would say it does. It's a constant reminder for me. Like I know I've got to, oops, sorry. I need to go back. It won't let me?
Yeah, well, it's that here.
It's a constant reminder for me. So I think it has, because it holds me accountable to everything that I put on there. And then you notice that I have a lot of white space in mine. So I can always adjust, add more, take away from it. So with the constant reminder in my face on my screensaver, it helps me hold myself accountable. And it makes me keep thinking in the future.
That's nice to be able to have that vision board that you look back on. So, I didn't bring the other 4 years worth of stuff, because that was humbling enough. But there are different quotes I really like at different times that I end up putting on there. For me at this particular point in my career and my life, I'm not worried about getting old. I'm worried about thinking old, and I want to keep putting that in the forefront of my mind, because there's a lot of people in a certain age that, we sometimes just stop growing. And I want to remind myself that it's okay to say, hey, CJ, teach me how to do this, or Sally, what do you think of this? And, maybe help me figure something out, that it's okay not to have all the answers just because you've been around a long time.
And don't forget, you can do a vision
Microphone.
board. I was going to go over here. You can do a vision board for just your personal life, or you can do one just for your professional growth in life, or you combine them, in which I did on mine. But don't forget that your vision board is your vision board. If just because we're up here showing ours doesn't mean that when you create yours, you might want to keep yours in the closet or in the bathroom so that only you can see it. So it's you create what you want, and you decide what you do with it. Are we just the fools that showed ours? No.
Even when, I've known Lisa for 15 years, I've known Lisa for 15 years, and when I attached my vision board so that she could see it, I clicked on it, and then I hovered over send, and I'm like, I don't know that I want to be this vulnerable. And then I thought, oh my God, I've known her for 15 years. If she hasn't judged me by now, she never will. So I hit send, but I had some anxiety with it. So this was for those of you that know me well, I am usually pretty transparent and not afraid to speak my mind. This was very, very humbling for me. So this was a growth challenge that Lisa and I took on, because it's such a cool tool, and if you're not using it, it's worth a shot.